Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna find out how many coins do I need to beat Martin. So let's begin. We don't have any pawns, so I can't play e4, which is perfect because we can play the Bomb Cloud. And Martin plays h6. I don't know what that move does, but I'm just gonna put my king back to e1. And again, Martin is just pushing the h and a pawns, the corner pawns. So let's just bring out the queen. I don't know, some random spot. He's playing a bit solid in this match. So I don't know what to do here. Now, he responds with f5, which means that I can give Martin a check. I mean, this is the obvious move. Let's see it. Okay, Martin responds with g6. Now we can take the pawn. Oops, sorry these arrows. Now we can take this pawn. It's basically a free pawn. And then Martin will go to e7. And then we can basically try and check him over and over again. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Okay, so right now, I don't know what to move because my queen cannot move to any of these places. Like, I cannot go anywhere. So right now, I think if I just move my king, that would be better. So I'm gonna move to d2 because no checks. And Martin responds with f4. I'm just gonna target this pawn, and yeah, Martin doesn't defend it at all and plays rook to h7. So right now this knight is kind of hanging. So this knight is hanging. So we can take this knight. And Martin again responds with b5. He's playing a lot of pawns. So also hanging the rook. So of course I'm going to take the rook. And now Martin responds with f6. King to f6, sorry. Now I can either give him a check. I mean I think that's all I can do right now. Or I can just go here and attack the rook with the pawn. So this seems more logical. Let's play. Okay, now again, he's playing more pawns. Martin responds with e5. So let's just take the rook. Now at least we have all the rooks. And again, another brilliant move from Martin. Now, he plays bishop to b7. I don't know what that move does, but it's Martin. So let's just take the bishop. And now he gives me a check on bishop to b4. So I think I'm just gonna go to light squares since his bishop cannot check me anymore. And I'm gonna take the pawn on a6. Now Martin again goes to g5, pushing his king with the pawns, I guess. I don't know, I think he's trying to push these pawns. But let's see, I'm just gonna take his b5 pawn. And now Martin responds with knight to e7, hanging this pawn and this bishop. So I can take either his bishop or his pawn. Let's take the bishop. And now Martin plays a8, which hangs a knight. So I think we have to take the knight with a check, by the way. If I take it, it's a check. And I can take, the pawn on e5 that I was talking about before. But if I take the knight, but if I take the pawn on e5, he can actually check me on f3. So I'm gonna have to be careful about that one. I can just take the pawn on d7, I guess, with a check. So that seems more logical. Let's do that. And Martin responds with g5. just kind of strange because you can see the eval bar just, it went up. So right now, I think I'm gonna have to give him a check either at e7 or g7. So let's give him a check on g7, and we can give another check on h6, taking the pawn. Now this is going great so far, but his queen is still staring at the f3 pawn. I mean, at the f3 square. So I'm gonna have to give him a lot of checks in order to get, the queen out of. But should I give him a check? I don't know. Let's just give him a check. Queen g6 and queen f5, and I can take the pawn actually. Or I can also check on d3, but then he would go up, wouldn't he? Let's just take the pawn on e5. Let's see what happens. Okay, so he didn't play queen f3, which is very good. That means now I can take the pawn on f4, and I can take the pawn on c7. So let's just take it. Oh, now he gives me a check. Okay, where can I go now? If I go to... Wait, yeah, I think I should go to all the light squares. And if I keep going to the light squares, then he won't be able to, force my queen to be traded. So let's just do that. And yeah, he's just gonna keep checking me, isn't he? Ooh, okay. Now, Martin played queen to a2. Now this gives me a chance to check his king. So let's just do that. I think I'm just gonna have to check the king and just hope that he gets near my king so I can, you know, checkmate him. So now, ooh, look at this. Wait, so Martin played queen to d5, hanging his queen in one move. So now we can play queen to h1 and take the queen. Look at that. And now we just have to checkmate with a king and a queen, which is simple, I think. How do I don't want to stalemate. I mean, I can stalemate, considering my name is I want stalemate. But right now, I don't want stalemate. I want to win. Wait, I can go to... I can put my queen to g1. G1. And now I can just run my king up until his king... I mean, he's obviously going to run his king. Yep, he's going to run his king up. And over here... Let's see, I'm just going to show you what I'm talking about. Now, here, this is checkmate. And also, queen g5 is checkmate in 2. Because then he would go to h7 and then queen g7 would be checkmate. But it's checkmate in 1. So let's just checkmate. Now it takes only one queen to beat Martin. So anyways guys, thank you for watching this video, and please make sure to hit the subscribe button because this is my first video ever